For 4 decades, WWE was Vince McMahon's playground. He owned it, he ran it, and he made sure every wrestler, storyline, and fan lived inside the circus of sports entertainment. Vince was ruthless, insane, and a little too obsessed with the idea that bigger muscles make bigger star. If you were under 6 feet, Vince treated you like a stagehand who wandered on set by mistake. But guess what? He made WWE a global empire. Then came 2022. Vince's laundry list of scandals finally caught up to him. Triple H took over creative, and suddenly everyone thought wrestling was saved. Finally, no more old man booking. Finally, we'll get real stories again. Well, 2 years later, how's that working out? Today, we're comparing WWE under Vince and WWE under Triple H, the good, the bad, and the straight-up ugly. Don't forget to subscribe to Wrestling for Breakfast for pancakes, pile drivers, and punchlines. Love him or hate him, Vince's WWE was unpredictable. He gave us Hulkamania, Austin vs. McMahon, The Rock, Cena, The Undertaker streak, the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era, all household names. But with Vince, for every great storyline, there were 5 disasters. Katie Vick, don't look it up. Mae Young giving birth to a hand. Roman Reigns getting shoved down our throats for 5 years straight. Vince C would make you laugh, cry, or facepalm, sometimes all in the same segment. The point is, Vince owned WWE. He could do whatever he wanted. Just Vince and his unfiltered madness. But by the end, he felt so out of touch, fans were begging for a change. Let's give credit where it's due. When Trips first took charge, WWE actually felt alive again. He brought back stars. Vince discarded. Bray Wyatt returned to huge hype. Johnny Gargano, Karrion Kross, Braun Strowman all got second chances. He pushed wrestlers who Vince never cared about. Gunther went from that big Austrian guy to the most dominant Intercontinental Champion in history. Sheamus had career-best matches. Rhea Ripley became a megastar. Titles actually mattered again. Mid-card belts weren't just accessories, they had stories. Matches were longer, the wrestling was harder hitting. For a while, fans thought, this is the wrestling company we always wanted. But then came the cracks. Triple H gave us stories, and then refused to end them. The Bloodline saga was masterful at first. But by 2023, it turned into a soap opera marathon. Same promos, same betrayals, dragged out for years. Remember Cody Rhodes' story after WrestleMania? Exactly. Neither do we. Judgment Day started as an edgy faction, then turned into a purple daycare. And then the rinse and repeat feuds. Seth Rollins versus Nakamura, 3 pay-per-views in a row, same finish. Bray Wyatt's Uncle Howdy mystery teased forever, ended with nothing. The point is, under Triple H, storylines didn't just get long. They got long without payoff. That's like binge-watching 6 seasons of a Netflix show, only for it to get canceled before the finale. This is where Triple H's WWE gets exposed. For all the hype about him being the wrestler's booker, look at how many pushes have been fumbled. Drew McIntyre. This man carried WWE during the pandemic, cut promos in empty arenas, and still came out a believable champion. Since then, he's basically the guy who loses so other people look good. He's like WWE's designated driver, always reliable, responsible, and the one making sure other stars get home safe with the title belt. LA Knight, mega over with the crowd. Merch flying off the shelves. The organic star WWE has been praying for. And what do? They put him in random mid-card feuds, let him shout, "Yeah," a bunch, and call it a push. LA Knight should be holding a world title right now, not playing hype man for Slim Jims. Karrion Kross. Hunter's NXT project, hyped up with vignettes and promos. But every main roster feud he's had has died faster than a Goldberg match. You'd think Hunter of all people would know how to book him, but nope, instead he's let him go. Johnny Gargano, beloved in NXT, one of Triple H's guys. On the main roster, invisible. You could run a Where's Johnny segment and half the audience wouldn't know he's still signed. So while Vince buried talent in ridiculous storylines, Hunter is accidentally burying them through indifference. At least under Vince, if you failed in spectacular fashion. Under Hunter, you just quietly disappear. Here's the thing about Triple H. For 20 years, he wasn't just a top star, he was Vince's student. Groomed under the boss, married into the family, and always looking for approval. Every decision he made, whether it was a promo, a match, or an angle in NXT, was with one eye on Vince. Now, Vince is gone, but not really. His ghost hangs over every creative call. Triple H might be the game, but he's still playing in Vince's house. And no matter what, fans will always compare him to the mad genius who built WWE into an empire. And here's the real problem. For all his faults, Vince was a visionary. But Hunter? He's a manager. He's running creative while answering to Nick Khan, TKO, sponsors, and even The Rock as a shareholder. That's not freedom, that's a boardroom cage match. So, while Triple H may finally be the boss, he doesn't have Vince's authority, Vince's insanity, or Vince's ability to gamble the whole company on one storyline. Which means, for the first time, Triple H has to find his voice, without the only mentor he ever had. And instead of Vince screaming in his ear, now it's The Rock asking if his cousin can main event WrestleMania. Here's the twist. This isn't really about Vince versus Triple H anymore. It's about WWE itself. Under Vince, WWE was one man's vision. It was crazy, controversial, offensive at times, but it was authentic chaos. Love him or hate him, Vince was undeniable. Under Triple H, WWE feels like committee booking. Better matches, cleaner storytelling, but also sanitized, overproduced, and corporate to the core. And let's be honest, Triple H's biggest limitation is that he doesn't own WWE. Vince could tear up a script 5 minutes before Raw went live because he literally owned the company. Hunter? He has to answer to TKO executives who care more about prime bottle placements than storylines. So while fans begged for Vince to be gone, they forgot what comes after: shareholder wrestling. Logan Paul, sponsored matches, endless ads mid-show. WWE isn't run by bookers anymore. It's run by marketing departments. And here's the kicker. Wrestling fans are never happy anyway. Under Vince, we complained about part-timers and bad booking. Under Hunter, we complain about safe TV and ads. The truth is, WWE will never go back to the wild chaos it once was. Because it's not really a wrestling company anymore. It's a content machine built for sponsors, investors, and stockholders. So the real winner here? Neither Vince nor Triple H. It's the corporations who turned WWE into a billion-dollar billboard. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to Wrestling for Breakfast.